Alright guys, welcome to Outdoor Adventures. I'm Jason. Thanks for joining me. Let's talk about how to poop in the woods. Everybody's got to poop, and eventually you're going to have to get over your fear of pooping in the woods. So let's talk about it. First things first, you want to stay 200 feet away from any camp, any stream or water source, and any trail. I'm going to repeat that. Stay 200 feet away from any stream or water source, any trail, or any camp. That's your first lesson here. Let that sink in. It is quite a distance away, and I know people just blatantly ignore that rule. You know, I'm guilty of it myself sometimes. You know, when I gotta go, I really gotta go. But most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, I try to keep that rule in mind. You know, get off the trail, just start walking. Walk until you're almost saying, wow, I'm going to get lost if I go too far. That's 200 feet away from the trail. And the way I kind of have that in my mind, I know my property is about 100 feet from the back door to my shed. And that's how I get it in my mind. So take a look at your property, your house, or something that you walk daily. Get that in your head of what 100 feet is and multiply that by 2. That should give you a rough estimate of how far away you need to be. It's far. It's really far. Anyway, enough about the leave no trace principles. Just keep those in mind, please. There's nothing worse than coming up on toilet paper in the woods and just seeing some big human feces just laying in the woods. It's the most disgusting thing. And sometimes I run upon it, and you know what it is. You know somebody who was just lazy about it. But anyway, let's talk about how to actually do this. Now, there's a couple things that you're going to need. For one thing, toilet paper. I just grab the stuff off the shelf. It's the stuff that I use at home. It's that, Charmin toilet paper. You need some Purell, some hand sanitizer, and what I really, really like are these wet ones. Okay, these are worth their weight in gold when you have to take a poop. You're also going to need a trowel. I'll put some good models in the description box. This is mine. I don't even know what this is. It's big, bulky, and heavy. I got it off of Amazon for like $8. I think it's aluminum. Really heavy. Now personally, I just use this. I just bring a tent stake with me. Never had a problem with this. I'm carrying them anyway, and these things weigh practically nothing. But as far as pooping in the woods, the first thing you want to do is you want to walk off trail. Like I said, about 200 feet away from campsites, water sources, etc. And you want to find yourself a nice quiet spot somewhere out of view, hopefully from other people, and you want to start digging what's called a cat hole. A cat hole is just a hole in the ground. It's about 6 inches by 6 inches, and we'll get into doing that. Now, fortunately, an MSR groundhog is about 7 inches. I think it's a little over 7 inches. So what I do is right where it says the word groundhog, right below that, that's how far I dig my cat hole. That's about 6 inches to me. So anyway, let's point it at the ground. I'll show you how to dig it. Oh, there's a worm. Let's move him. Sorry, worm. Oh, I probably should have mentioned, I dig with the back of this, not the front of this. I don't know how you would possibly dig like that, but the back of this thing has, this good little Y shape on it. So that's the only reason why I think this actually works. But we're starting to get down there. This is actually a lot harder than what it usually is. I'm seeing these big giant roots. So I'm just kind of breaking them up and cutting them off as I go through. But normally if I would have this many roots, I wouldn't go here. And I think that's about deep enough. So yeah, we're at probably the length of the groundhog. We're probably at 7 inches right now. So I'll just clear all that out, and then we'll get into the next part of this thing. Make sure when you put this away that you know where it is, so you don't lose it for your hammock or your tent. Now, as far as the act of pooping, there's a couple different techniques. I really like the sitting on the log technique. If I can find a log around here, I will put that in the video. Another technique is you just grab the trunk of a tree and you kind of squat down, position yourself over the hole that way. But what I usually end up doing, because you know the ideal environment is usually not around, or I'm just in a hurry, is I just position myself over the hole, drop my pants, and I'll just, you know, pop a squat. You know, maybe spread your butt cheeks out a little bit, allow it to get a little cleaner down there. And it's really simple, guys. It's not a big complicated matter here. It's just getting over the fact that you're pooping in the woods. You're not sitting on that, you know, that golden throne that you're normally used to sitting on. So after I'm done, I will, you know, I will get the toilet paper going here. Okay. Take some toilet paper, clean myself up. I will throw it in the hole, and I'll show you why that is. So a couple pieces of toilet paper, throw it in the hole. And then lastly, once I'm pretty much cleaned up, I will take one of these wet ones and I'll really polish off that rear view mirror. And I will then pack these out. I'll bring a, you know, just my normal garbage bag, which is a gallon freezer bag, and I'll just pack one of these out. I usually use about 1 or 2 of these a day. With all those Mountain House meals, you're going to be taking some runny poops. Just saying. Not everybody's like that, but for me, I'm like that. Now, after everything is done and I've packed out my wet ones, what I will do, and I know this might be controversial, but I've never had a problem with this. Even the biodegradable toilet paper, I think you should do this with. And you can only do this, I'm going to say, if not to be mean, if you're not a moron. If you're a moron, don't even try this. You know who you are. But I will take the lighter and I will catch that first piece of toilet paper on fire. And I will sit here and I will watch it burn, making sure it does not catch anything on fire, leaves, roots, any kind of ground waste. I will make sure nothing is caught on fire, and I will sit here until all that burns. You know, I'll start cleaning up in the meantime, but I will sit here and make sure all that burns down to just ash. A lot of people just pack out their the toilet paper. I don't necessarily like doing that, and I think this way is perfectly fine as long as you're very, very smart about it. I know I'm probably going to get some comments about how I shouldn't be doing this, but you know what? It's been working. I don't see an issue with it, and I've seen a hell of a lot worse while I'm on the trail. Some people don't even bother to dig a cat hole. Alright, now you can see it's just ash, so what I'll start doing is I will start moving the dirt to cover up all the waste. Okay? All the dirt just right back in the hole. Give it a good couple stamps. Oh, there was a worm in there. I'm going to save you, worm. I don't want to stamp on you. Alright. So, cover it all back up. There's a lot of worms in here. I should come out and do night crawler farming. Holy cow. Jeez, man, there was a ton. There was like 6 worms in there. Anyway, never seen that before. Anyway, I'll give that a good stomp, light stomp on the top. And then what I'll do is I'll start taking debris and I'll just cover it back up. Okay? Making it kind of look like I was never here. Okay? And that's what you really want to do. After that, I'll usually put some kind of stick in there to mark it. That one wasn't really tall enough. Just a little stick. Just so somebody knows that not to come here. You know, an X or whatever. Just something simple. Somebody's going to look at this and start digging, and they're going to realize that that's not supposed to be in the ground. That was placed there by a human. So that's it. Lastly, and please do this, bring hand sanitizer. I don't care how much it weighs. I don't care if you're ultralight. Don't be an idiot. Bring hand sanitizer. Because you're going to be using these hands to cook your meal, and you're going to be eating with this meal. When you're out there for a couple days, you're going to get dirty. Put some hand sanitizer in your hand and clean your hands up. Okay? Real good. Lastly, make sure you don't forget your tent stake or your trowel if you used it, and pack up everything. Don't try to burn the wet ones. These will not burn. Okay? I've tried. Don't try to burn these. Make sure you pack them out. Make sure you bring your garbage bag. Do not put these in the ground, please. So guys, that's how to poop in the woods. It's not hard. You just got to do it a couple times and it'll become second nature. For you ladies, there is a thing very popular with AT thru hikers, and that's just having what's called a pee rag. So I know you ladies have to squat and do your business, and you need toilet paper to do that business. Some women just opt to just bring a little rag that they use, and it could even be like a buff that you can wash off somewhere in town or whatever with your clothes, but they opt to just use the pee rag, just reuse it. I don't know anything about it, obviously. I'm not sure, as I've never had to do that, but I know it does exist. I know a lot of people, a lot of women are doing that. So check it out. Look up using a pee rag, I guess, hiking, and hopefully that'll help you with that aspect of camping and hiking. So guys, thanks for joining me. This was all about how to poop. Hope that helps somebody. I'll see you on the trail.